This is Morten from Inkish. First day here at fabulous Printing United in Vegas. And actually the second interview we're going to do today is with a very interesting gentleman, Tom from Advantage Colorgraphics.
Nice
Tom,
to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're always welcome. I mean, we didn't know each other like 10 minutes ago, basically, right? And I'm blown away already. So I should have as little hair as you have.
Oh, you're too kind.
I mean, you told the story like 30 years ago. You started as a mailbox company, right? And today you have 800 employees, and I mean, it sounds like a fantastic printing company with a diverse range of products. I mean, tell me a little bit, how was the route going there?
Well, it's truly the American dream, you know, from the very beginning, working by myself and then, you know, having employees join. And it's been truly the journey where the employees have made the difference. You know, the employees have, you know, helped me guide the business and grow, either through organic or acquisition. And we're finding that, you know, as the industry takes us where, you know, we find it, we're paying attention. You know, we're doing our best to trying to find the right paths to go, and it's been very successful. While we've not always made all the right decisions, we feel like we've made quite a few good ones, and it's landed us where we are today.
My guess is that you have done more right decisions than wrong decisions, right? So when you look at the market today, because I think that over the 30 years of time, I guess that you have experienced a lot of changes in how the market is developing and how the technology is supporting the trends. I mean, what was like a milestone in your company's story? If you have like, can you pinpoint a single moment where you said, okay, that was a game changer?
Well, absolutely. I think for us, growing up as a mailer first and getting into offset early on, you know, as a mailer, most mailers were going into row-fed forms, and we decided to be sheet-fed. So we put sheet-fed and mail together, and I think that was one of the first combinations. And we grew from there and eventually got into forms later, but I think that kind of set us separate and basically bridged us into the commercial printing market with the mailing. So we grew from there, and we took that momentum into where we are today. And in 2008, we got into web printing. So web printing then took us into another dynamic of the industry. And then packaging came in 2012, and then we grew as a packaging company from there. Throughout the whole duration, we've been in digital, particularly color digital, since 1998. So we feel like we were pioneering with the iGens and the HPs and then now the Landa.
We're going to talk about the Landa in a moment. I just want to go back to the decision that you made on being a mailer with using sheet-fed. Was that also because that gave you let's say a larger diversity in substrates and easier changeovers and these kind of things, or what was the reason for taking that decision?
Absolutely, the Landa, in my opinion,
I was just in the offset days when you had like the sheet. But I want to talk about the Landa in a second. But I was just curious because I mean, you said that we made a decision to go with sheet-fed offset in the mailing space, where you have a lot of people going digital roll-fed, right?
Well, for us, I felt like there was, you know, we looked at where the competition was. We felt like no one was doing the commercial print and mailing together.
Okay, so that was a combo basically that
Correct.
You could do. Ah, okay, I get
So we delivered something that I felt that the clients needed back in the 90s. You know, we felt like, okay, they were asking for a lot of it. A lot of printers didn't know how to do mailings back then. So we inserted ourselves to try to take market share.
Makes sense. So the considerations you had back then were the similar to when you chose the first Landa, because now you have two. So I was just thinking, because the media diversity is something that is very often one of the very major reasons for picking a sheet-fed solution, right?
Right, so I think the Landa is truly the only offset replacement, because it has the coating, it's B1, so we can actually migrate work without hesitation from offset to the Landa, or vice versa, you know, where we can utilize both somewhat interchangeably and efficiently, where we take the small runs, the multi-volumes off of the heat set and put them on the Landa. So, you know, we flatten out the offset schedules, if you will. So basically trying to keep the offset schedules more with longer runs versus, you know, intermittently putting shorter runs in between the longer runs.
One of the things I can't help think about is that when you have so many different technologies, from cut sheet digital to cut sheet offset to web offset to Landa, for example, right? I'm just thinking because, I mean, obviously the cost is different from each type of technology you use, but when you as a printing company have all these technologies and you move jobs forth and back to technology, is that because you more overall look at what is more efficient on a broader perspective instead of looking at it just job by job, or?
Absolutely, you hit it right on the nose.
Yeah.
We look at overall efficiencies.
Yeah.
You know, we see if we take the smaller jobs away from the offset environment, we're going to
Free
gain those.
up,
We're going to gain those efficiency back. We're
Yeah.
going to gain, you know, the longer runs and, you know, avoid the starts and stops. You know, the plates are one thing, that's a true cost, but you know, it's really the overall efficiencies, the waste, and then of course, at the end of the day, it's what we do for our customers. If it's a deadline or due date,
You need to meet it, right? Yeah.
cost is out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, my customers come first.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, and that's what we think about when we're in scheduling.
So talking about profitability, I mean, I guess that you have not grown to where you're today without looking into the profits, of course. So when you look at the technology that Landa provides, is it also from a business perspective really sane investment?
Oh, absolutely. For us, you know, we wouldn't have bought the second one if it wasn't.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah.
some people call me insane, but I think
But that's just you, right?
But I carefully look at and evaluate return on investment, internal rate of returns, and I see how the shop is operating. You know, and for me, it's having the first one and seeing how the dynamic of it working in our shop for us to be able to execute on some of the larger projects. And there's that element of build it and they will come. By having the press, we've been able to do work that we didn't really know we could do, or customers didn't know we had the technology. And they turn the projects into more Landa projects because we actually had the capability.
I guess also that when you have, let's say, the 7-color gamut of the Landa, you could use jobs that you would normally need to have in a 6-color space on your offset machine. You can basically do that easier, right? I mean, so I guess that, and that gives you, I guess that is also gives you like a market competitiveness, because if you have a, let's say, an offset printer next door, he needs to use totally different technologies and spend more time on it, right? Is that something that you utilize in your sales when you approach customers as well?
Absolutely. So when we have a customer that requires those requirements you just mentioned, or even, you know, a higher color gamut or brilliancy, you know, we know that we feel very confident in the colors coming off of the Landa. So.
I mean, it's a fantastic journey you've been on, because I mean, I think that when Landa was introduced at Drupa in 12 and 16, right? I think that a lot of people like really excited about the things, and then it took a little bit longer time to get the machines to market. And you have been one of the first movers in the market. I mean, how is the journey for you along with Landa in order to get things going?
Yeah, so it's been very interesting. You know, Landa's been fully supported from the very beginning. You know, we've had our Landa since January of 22. While we've like all manufacturers, we've had you know, ups and downs. It's been fantastic here.
I mean,
it's extremely consistent now, performing. Otherwise, we wouldn't buy the second one. We're extremely happy with the performance. We're the highest producing Landa in North America, so we're very proud of that.
And the first one is obviously the S10. The next one you have got, is that the S11, or is that an 11P, or are you using the straight machines?
It's 11P.
Okay,
yeah.
So you have perfection on them, basically.
Correct.
Yeah. Wow, fantastic. I mean, the journey sounds, it doesn't sound like it stopped here, right?
No, it's not. I mean, I still, like you said, the little hair that I have, but I'm still going to go a little bit longer.
Okay, but if you let it grow a couple of weeks more, then you might have more space for more new technology.
For sure.
Right? Okay, Tom, great meeting you.
Thank you for having me.